Catalonia referendum, we just want to be independent, Catalans speak out. The 5.3 million registered voters of the Northeast region is poised to vote on October 1 on whether or not to declare a republic and separate from the rest of Spain, in a move that is highly controversial and caused deep divisions in the country. The central government in Madrid, headed by Prime Minister, backed by the Constitutional Court, has ruled the referendum as unconstitutional and therefore illegal. However, the Catalan president has vowed to hold the vote no matter what, saying if the vote is to leave, then he will declare Catalonia a republic within 48 hours. Blanca Servet, a Catalan currently living in London and working in the city, said, "The majority just want to be independent because they truly believe Catalonia would fulfill its potential as a country rather than simply being a rich region dependent on Spain." Catalans have historically felt financially and politically restricted by a Spanish government that screams the opposite of progress, democracy or modernity. Catalans are fed up. Servet also hit out at the intimidating measures taken by the administration in Madrid, saying, "The Spanish government is using repression and censorship to create fear, arresting innocent people, seizing ballot papers and displaying their armed forces on the streets." The general mood on the streets continues to be a mix of frustration and optimism. A resident of Barcelona, who spoke under condition of anonymity, said, "For me it's always been a sense of national identity. I knew we were different, not better or worse. We should be good neighbors. But lately it's also about being free from Madrid's control and that government that is clearly the heirs of dictator Franco. I'd like Catalonia to finally be an independent state, as it should have been a long time ago, so that it can develop according to its own way, which is much more modern than the rest of Spain. I'd like people to stop calling me Spanish, because I'm not. I'd like people to relate me with my own culture. I just don't want to be Spanish because I've never felt I was. It's as simple as that." Another resident of the Catalan capital, who wanted to remain anonymous due to their involvement with the upcoming vote, said that Prime Minister Mariano Rajoy was using fear to intimidate the Catalan people. They said, "Madrid is using fear, they're desperate and blind. But that's Spain, they're not facing democracy. This has been our struggle for years. But it is difficult to explain how Catalans feel in a deep way. It's not only political but a matter of dignity and respect through many decades. Every little thing has been a hard struggle. Madrid has always criticized our politics and institutions as being ridiculous. I see independence as the way to settle things in its natural place." Anna, 50, said, "The fact that the Spanish government is still using force in the 21st century and in Europe just shows the sad reality we Catalans have to endure. Having a state that protects my language, culture, institutions and law is paramount for me." Esther, 31, who works in the media, said, "The referendum means democracy to me. The vote is crucial and one of the most relevant events in my life. It is almost a dream come true that it is finally taking place. We are voting for dignity. We've tried to fit within the Spanish state many times in the past, but the answer from the Spanish government to any kind of negotiation has always been no. Those sentiments were echoed by Alfred, a 53-year-old economist. He said, "Without voting, democracy becomes a dictatorship. A referendum is a desire to be free from Madrid's control and a way of being able to decide our future." The measures taken by Madrid are a clear example of how to use the law, and sometimes outlaw, against democracy. He expressed concerns that there could be repercussions meted out by Madrid for simply taking part in the referendum. He said, "I want to vote, but by voting I do not want to be jailed." Another, who wanted to remain anonymous due to their involvement with the Assembly Nacional Catalana, ANC, said, "For me, it's one of the most important achievements of my life." For Catalans, the realization of a dream. We have a real desire to lead our own lives the way we consider best, without having to depend on anyone. Speaking about the measures undertaken by Madrid to stop the vote, they said, "It is an absolute scandal. They want to make people feel so afraid we will not have the courage to leave our homes and vote on October 1st. Another, who also requested anonymity, saw the referendum cause as a way of supporting freedom of expression. They said, "It is a way for me to express my ideas and above all to support freedom of expression. And fight for my dignity. For me, I want independence, but there are also many who fight for democracy, regardless of how they are going to vote." While the vast majority of Catalans Express.co.uk spoke to were in favor of independence, not everyone is. Barcelona resident Esther Balboa, although not a supporter of Mr. Rajoy, does not want Catalonia to separate from Spain. She said, "I don't want to be independent. I understand the Catalan position and that people are very peed off, but they knew it was illegal from the beginning. It's awful, but that's the way it is. Rajoy is very stupid and cannot make a political decision. I hope Madrid gives them more independence and improvements. I don't know what will happen on Sunday, but I hope there is no violence." A former resident of the Catalan capital said, "I am not against independence, especially if we become a republic, but not like this. I think both sides have acted appallingly in the last few years. All this is too hasty, and there is no doubt that we have ended up in this situation because we have an old-fashioned, conservative government in Madrid that was not open to dialogue and was unwilling to move on and change things. I think given the circumstances this referendum should not happen. It will not represent the real situation because all those who do not feel it is legitimate are going to stay at home. Mainly those for independence are going to vote. So yes, the yes will win, but I am not so sure the yes would have won in a proper referendum negotiated with Madrid after changing the constitution. It's just that the people who are against independence are not making noise in the streets. But given the events of the last few days, now everything has become totally confusing and unpredictable. Another resident in Barcelona said she did not intend to vote and did not have any information where to vote either. She said, "I do not agree with either the Catalan or the Spanish governments. They have to talk together. A visual artist, Blanca, is just not concerned about the whole issue. I'm apolitical. I don't believe in any country.